Dear friends, hi everyone, good morning. We begin our weekly meeting. My name is Denis Chernabayev. I am the leader of Drinkit project, and today I'm happy to share the news of our project. During our previous weekly meeting, I was telling about the company that we're going to build and the fundamentals of this company. If you have not seen this video, you should definitely watch it. It's the presentation that does not dedicate too much attention to figures, but today I want to dwell particularly into that. Recently, Drinkit celebrated its first anniversary. We launched our first coffee place in July last year, so we celebrated this July with particularly good financial results. We have achieved astronomical EBITDA per one coffee place of over 15%. In February, this figure was almost minus 40%. So in this presentation, I want to tell you about our journey from point A to point B and how we're going to get to point C. According to our forecast, in November, we're going to reach EBITDA of almost 30%. It's not a fantasy, it's a plan, and we know how to achieve this goal. Okay, minus 37% EBITDA in February, July plus 15%. And in November, it's going to be almost 30%. But now let's talk about unit costs. If we look at our financial figures, here they are. Unit costs from February to July actually increased but not decreased. In February, it was 44.1% and 45.1% in July. So it increased. But if you look at the third line, you can take a look at the food cost. Our costs of ingredients without taking into account the package actually went down from 37.7% to 33.7%. We have been able to achieve these results because we have increased our prices for a few positions in the menu, and also would like to thank the supply chain team for helping us to lower certain purchasing costs for ingredients. So, why do we have unit costs growing if our ingredients costs are going down, have been going down? The matter is that till July, we have not been calculating our losses correctly. In February and March, this figure was about 1%. Together with our financial team, we've been able to discover a few errors, and in July we began calculating losses correctly. Turns out that they are over 6.5%, which is actually quite a lot. But we see this problem and we know how to solve it. In November, we think that we'll be able to achieve the figure of about 2%, and overall our unit costs will fall to 38%, which is very close to the ideal model. I've already told you that we raised our prices. Let me go into the detail. In March, our average check was about 217 rubles. We realized that with this prime costs and average check, we cannot deliver a good product and service to our guests. That's why we began raising prices gradually. In April, we did our first raise, about 5 or 10% for all of the menu. Not much, gradually. So average check increased to 235 rubles. We made slight adjustment in May, and in July we increased the price of our combo, and our average check increased to 273 rubles. I think it is pretty much okay for our format, and we're not going to increase prices in our first coffee place in Omega Plaza Mall. If we dive deeper into the analytics of our pricing, here's what we may see. Our average check truly has increased, which helped us to actually get more revenue. Our revenue in April was 1.3 million rubles, and by July it increased to 1.5 million rubles. But the number of orders, the second line in the table, was actually slightly going down, just as the monthly number of guests. You see, we had 852 guests in April and 735 in July. So the increased prices pushed away a number of people because we were beyond their pricing threshold. Yes, we regret about this loss. We regret that certain people will not be able to enjoy our beautiful product, but we truly understand that with the average receipt, average check that we used to have, it's just impossible to stay afloat. That's why we had to increase our prices. However, thanks to the higher prices, we've been able to lower our average discount from 16% to 10%, and also decrease the number of orders with promo from 31% to 21%. That in turn brought not only higher revenues, but also higher frequency of orders. from 5.07 per month to 5.51 per month. So our customers actually turned out to become more loyal. In July, we decided that we will fully reject local marketing. We will not invest in local marketing. We took a look at our financial figures. We were spending about 3 to 5% of our revenue investing them into marketing. We decided not to invest into marketing since July. That's a conscious decision. We realized that the average revenue of our coffee place with the model that we have currently is about 1.5 to 2 million rubles. With this sort of revenue, it's impossible to allocate decent budget for marketing. Actually, the best thing, the best promotion for a coffee place is good product, good service, high speed. The main mission for any franchisee or coffee place administrator is to create loyal community around the coffee place. That's why we decided to fully reject investment into marketing and local marketing as a notion, because it assumes, it implies a very generic number of tools, leaflets, flyers, etc. But we decided to introduce a different notion, the notion of community management. Management of a local, loyal community, which will lead to the growth of revenue. Now, labor costs. Smart labor costs management made the major contribution into our income. In February, our labor costs were about 53%. In July, almost 22%. You'd say that, you guys, come on, you have bigger revenue, that's why you have lower labor costs. But actually, you should look at the third line in this table, our overall labor costs. You see that in February, with lower revenue, we were spending more money to pay to our baristas. And by the way, we kept the same rates all the time. So we were paying to our baristas just as well as before. So how did we manage to make it happen? Well, the answer is obvious. The growth of productivity. We made that the particular focus of our attention. So, first decision that we made, in March we introduced digital certificates. So for every order that was produced in the kitchen for over 6 minutes, we were sending to our guests the certificate for one free drink. That actually helped us to spur the speed of making drinks. And that's actually the major sign of productivity. Our average speed of making a drink decreased from 4.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes. And the number of orders that are being made over 6 minutes decreased from 19% to 5%. And the number of quick orders made in less than 10 minutes actually increased from 16% to 36%. The major growth of speed led to the growth of productivity and decreased labor costs. Another thing that we've done, a number of simple operational tools. They sound simple, but they're not that easy to implement as it might seem. First, dislocation. We introduced this principle. We have a particular position in the coffee place per employee, per member of the team, which actually helped to optimize the productivity of the team. Next, we were working with a schedule in a very focused way. We have introduced the daily labor cost limit that we may allow, that also helped to actually plan a more efficient schedule, so that every team member could be as efficient as possible. Also, we optimized the process of opening and closing the coffee place. And there's still room to grow there. Also, Murat and Andrei Kozlov, the guys from our team, made already the second version of our smart checkout, which actually helps to optimize the work of the employees who are working in the checkout area. Also, we rejected the kitchen. We are working with a ready-to-eat food, which again decreased our labor costs a lot. We also introduced a number of checklists, particularly running great shift checklist, which helps us to arrange the work of administrator, shift manager, help them to focus on the tasks that help us to achieve during every shift the best service and the best speed. And of course, focus is our secret sauce. That helps us to think every day about our profitability, efficiency, and achieve results. So what's next? As a matter of fact, I told you in the beginning that we are going to achieve EBITDA of 30% by February. That is true. We believe that the coffee place model should be at the level of EBITDA of about 25 to 30%. Yes, we're not that bad. at the moment in terms of labor costs, we still believe that it can be better. So, at the meetup, I announced that we have signed up the area in the major business center of Russia in the Moscow city in the Federation skyscraper tower. Here's the decoration of our future facade. In the nearest future, we shall start construction works there, and we're going to celebrate the opening on the 25th of September. We are very ambitious about this new coffee place in Moscow City. We're going to achieve there the labor cost of about 15%. Together with Delovaya Rus company, we've developed this concept of a very efficient and ergonomically convenient bar, so every member of the team will be as focused as possible on a particular task and efficiency. There are so many details very well thought out so that every barista in the moment works in the most convenient way. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, last but not least, as they say, our quality assurance, quality control system. At the meetup, I told you about the idea of a smart camera that will help us to track the quality of the product for every single order. And Vitaly Kalinin, the manager of our QA, together with outstanding developers of the Farbit Tech, launched the first prototype of this idea about 2 weeks ago, and on this video you can see the camera understanding and tracking the movement of the order from the making area to the checkout area. So we can see in combination the number of the order and the photo of the order, and very soon we'll be evaluating every single order that we check out during a shift. We'll be able to actually qualitatively identify our major problems and hiccups. And again, if there is any problem or something goes wrong, for example, if somebody stopped visiting our coffee place, we can track all of the orders of that customer and understand what went wrong. Thank you so much for your attention. If you're curious about the things that I told you, if you want to join the Drinkit team or help us with something, development, for example, or our QA project, please do not hesitate to write me on email, Instagram, Telegram. I'd be happy to answer your questions. Stay tuned and let us see a fabulous video that our team made about the run. Actually, there are a lot of runners in our company, and I personally started casually running on a daily basis lately, and it helps us to keep the energy, stay fit, and achieve better results in our business. How are you keeping the spirits up when it's raining so much? Anticipation of the result. So you're anticipating for new records? I hope so. I don't know. We'll see in 2 hours. But I truly hope that I will actually be able to beat my personal best. Denis inspired all of us because he runs 15 to 10 kilometers. And I went for a run and I thought, Denis can make it? Why can't I? He runs 15. I think I would manage 10. So he runs an hour, I'll make it 40 minutes. My first run lasted for 9 minutes, 1 kilometer. And it was only more since then. We decided to train to run a marathon. I started running about a month ago. Our leader, Veronika, infected us with this idea. She began running after Denis, and we all joined this wave. And our team began training to run a marathon in September, 10 kilometers. We had our first baby in 2018, and turns out that the gym is no longer enough. It's not even possible to find the time to go to the gym. I was sitting month after month at my computer doing my job. I realized that I'm going insane. I need to move. And I have been thinking, where can I get some free sports? I was running on my own without a coach, and I trained to run 10 kilometers officially during a run in Moscow. Half a marathon and a marathon in Moscow. Right after Moscow Marathon, I traveled to Istanbul to run a marathon there. After that, I began working with a coach because I realized that I may get better and just make my runs more efficient. It's conquering myself. I'm conquering every kilometer. And my knees are aching. Otherwise, why would I need it? I just want to be fit and healthy. I want to be pretty. Well, I'm pretty already. I'm pretty much fine with that. I am inspired with what the run gives me, in addition to endorphins and all the happiness hormones. That's maybe one of the reasons that I feel so well after a run. I think better. My blood travels faster. I, for example, didn't know how to solve a problem with a colleague. I ran, and at the 20th minute, I do realize that there is a solution. We got to know one another, we followed one another in Strava. Vlad Mandryk is just insane. He runs so fast. I began running 6-7 times a week since January. Fyodor used to talk a lot about energy, now he speaks less about that, but I realized that running is a source of energy. Of course, physical exercise always gives you more energy. This is about energy, this is about focus. I wanted to know my boundary. For example, I can run 5 kilometers. It seems fun, but can I run more? I cannot say that I love to run a long marathon. Maybe later I will join some sort of competition. Maybe if I run more, that will convey even more pleasure. And maybe I will enjoy running with a crowd of other runners. Yes, in August I'm running half a marathon, then a full marathon in September, then 10 kilometers in Moscow in mid-September, then half a marathon on October 3rd, and I'm also going to run in Sochi, 21 kilometers. During a long run, there's this special thing. After about 60% of a run, you start feeling that you are at your limit, and you need to withstand that. And put yourself together, pull yourself together, and after that, things will get easier. And I truly advise you to start working with a coach. If you cannot do that, join a group, join a community, try to read public channels, etc. It's important to establish correct running technique. It's hard to learn in the beginning. If there's nobody to show you, that's a problem. How was I learning? I observed those runners whom I've been training with. Start with selecting correct shoes, and you must try withstand yourself, overcome yourself, and you will feel this zest to run more. And don't chase the kilometers. Try to run, enjoy the run, being on your own, face to face with your ideas and thoughts. That sort of meditation. Yes, it was such a great pleasure. What are your other plans? What are your plans for the future? Run even faster. That's what I think. It's a great plan. Next run is in 2 weeks. You're not a lonely hermit. Do not hesitate to talk to people, to ask for their advice. Everybody started from scratch. Nobody was born a marathon runner. Everybody began with something. I implore every single one of you to run a Moscow Marathon with me on August 26th. If you have not ever run, you will remember it for the rest of your life. Dear friends, hi everyone. Not only our team is running, but also the Dodo bird is on the go. In July, we have discovered a new country for us. My name is Yulia Kubenkova, and I'm the leader of the Dodo in Poland, the project of Vladimir Gorecki. Let me tell you about how we launched in the very center of Warsaw. How does the life of people change after they open the pizza restaurant? Well, it's before and after. So what happened? When we were planning with the opening, we were working in a co-working, drinking smoothie. We were truly the start-uppers. After that, it all changed to mopping, corridors, and making pizza. We have been planning for so long, testing hypotheses. testing flexible management schemes. After the opening, there's no time to explain. You take the order and you run to deliver to the client. We had our favorite means of transportation, our bicycles. We were biking to work every day, but we had to swap it for a beloved scooter, which we used to go to work, during the work, after work, and of course, the food. It has not changed much. We were cooking, we were eating, and we keep on doing the same. However, there's one thing that never changes. And of course, that's the Dotster recipe. No pickles, a classical Dotster, and of course, the new country must witness the hero and taste the Dotster. It actually has already the number of raving fans. And the second thing that remained unchanged is our strong desire to conquer the hearts of our guests in Poland. Yes, this is the new country, but we are ready for the change because we want to lead in the market. So, how did we prepare the lunch? Because opening a restaurant in a new country is a complicated endeavor, and 2 years ago, when we first came up with the idea to launch Poland, we began thinking about how to tackle this problem because it's our first approach to Poland. It seemed like a huge elephant, and you don't know from which side to approach that elephant. First of all, we hosted the strategic session with our Russian team because they have some extensive experience, and we have uploaded all of the experience onto the board. We have split the projects into blocks, domains, and tasks. We have defined the first steps to launch in the new country. Of course, step 1, which was quite long, was market analysis. It had 4 sub-steps. First of all, analyzing the country, analyzing the specifics of this particular country, culture, economics. Step 2, competitive analysis. Third, customer analysis. And fourth, the analysis of the specifics of Dodo, which we can deliver to Poland in a very special and advantageous way. So we've been able to discover a few special things. First of all, we decided to open in Warsaw. They often ask us why the very center, the very capital of the country. We began with smaller towns in Russia, approaching Moscow and St. Pete. We selected Warsaw because we decided that we wanted to grow quickly. Pandemic corrected our plans, but we see a lot of opportunities nonetheless, because many competitors are closing their restaurants, there are cool new spots, and we want better recognition, by the way. That's why we're entering the capital. Also, we want to brand recognizable not only to our guests, but also to potential franchisees, because we're more noticeable in the capital. And also, when you enter a big city and a big country, the success-failure rate is 50-50, and of course, it's a big responsibility and a more serious task to win in Warsaw. By the way, Warsaw is a beautiful and exciting city, full of history and new technological trends. The city is split into majorly 2 parts because it's split by the river. There's a number of bedroom communities in the city, but also the historic center, which consists of the historic part, cultural part, and the downtown. And also, Warsaw in Poland is naturally a young European country. It's a young nation. There are a lot of trendy, fashionable restaurants and places, and we do realize that in Poland we can have the symbiosis of different consumer categories, which will find something special in our restaurant. Another thing that we have discovered about the country is that Polish often joke that their hobby is standing in line. It looks quite unusual because we see so many food and beverage places in Moscow, and it's not often that you can see people ready to stand and wait in line to enter. They will just go to a different place, but in Poland people can just wait in line to buy bread or donuts or ice cream. At the daytime, they may stand in line and wait for a soup or pancakes if they truly love the place. And also, the Sunday is a non-working day in Poland. Every Sunday, almost everything is closed in Poland. Food and beverage, shops are mostly closed. And that actually is a quite special situation for food and beverages. Of course, a restaurant may close on Sunday, but the dynamics over the week is different. For example, on Saturday, people try to buy something for the week, and on Sunday, people can go for a walk and visit our restaurant if it is open. We have been analyzing competition for quite a while, and we realized that there are two major formats for pizza restaurants. First, traditional sort of Italian pizza restaurants. You need to look good. It's a good place with a restaurant delivery, with a luxury interior, or just very, very simple pizza places which are mostly concentrated on delivery, and it's just not a pleasure to be there. Also, there are pizza restaurants with traditional thin base and thick base, and of course, there are groups of customers who love either one. So, having analyzed the specifics of the country and our guests' behavior, we realized that we want to be the place that is, on the one hand, friendly, and on the other hand, simple and casual. We want to be open. We want to be fun. And you don't need to wear a costume or behave in a special way to get to our restaurant. It's a simple place where you can go every day. I will tell you about what kind of people join us, and we see actually the proof of our hypotheses. Another curious thing that we've done, we have paid special attention to looking for the format and the location. We have been working a lot with the city and the map, and when we were choosing a place in Warsaw, we split the center into the areas. There are 18 neighborhoods in Warsaw, and we investigated every single one of them. On map 2, at the bottom right corner, you see these layers. We were looking at the competition at the universities, at the malls. We were looking at the gravitation center for traffic. We were evaluating our competitors' experience. We were looking for the crossroads of our target audience. We were looking for the spaces, the demands that we could respond to. Then we narrowed down our search to a particular neighborhood. We decided that we're going to open in the center because it has the highest traffic. We were researching the streets, the direction of the traffic, and on the first map, you may see how we were marking the most saturated traffic, low traffic, beautiful facades with better view. And then we selected a particular venue. We were negotiating that venue, and we're selecting already the format for the venue. We were following people, the flow of people, which direction people go, which direction people look at, where people turn, why they go this way or that way in the morning, at daytime. That was a ton of information that helped us a lot to finalize and refine the format. So one of the final ideas is that location in many ways determines the success and your format. That is super important. You should not underestimate the amount of attention and time you should dedicate to selecting your venue. That's the fundamental of success. If your first restaurant is successful, it will be easier for your next restaurants to be successful as well. So let me tell you about the venue. This is the business block in the Warsaw downtown, Ronda Z subway station, and there's big reconstruction happening there. They have been demolishing old buildings for quite a while, building high-rise buildings. There are a number of headquarters of big companies there, so that provides good traffic for the restaurant. And also, we have quite an extensive delivery area with big offices and residential blocks. With this combination, we can diversify our risks because if, for example, we're facing certain difficulties or there's another quarantine, still, one of the things will definitely work, either delivery or our guests in the restaurant. So here's where our restaurant sits, and I will later show you the facade and the interior. After we have discovered the place and determined the format, we needed to establish operations and design a menu. In order to design the menu, we studied local tastes. We were looking for ingredients. We didn't have anything. We began from scratch. We were developing the dough. Well, it's sort of standard fluffy dough that we have in Russia, but we needed to actually find the ingredients with the bubbles and lumps. We were looking for all of the ingredients for the pizza, for all of the appetizers in the menu, and pretty much everything. Again, we also dedicated special attention to the coffee. Why coffee matters? Coffee is a very important trigger, and this trend is still growing. We see how amongst pizza restaurants in Poland, there is no notion that you can have pizza with a coffee. People usually prefer to eat pizza with a beer or with some soda, and there's no coffee in pizza restaurants in Poland whatsoever. This can be our competitive advantage. We can show to everybody that pizza restaurant, it's not only good pizza, it's also good coffee. We collected a lot of samples in Poland, in Russia. We were testing them in Moscow with the help of Nastya Nikitina. We were selecting the best samples, and let me tell you this, the coffee that we have now is just great, and we have feedback that it's much better than in many coffee places around. We were looking for all of the equipment, XLT oven, the heart of our pizza place, legendary, and we bought most of the things at a local market, and we had to deliver something from Russia as well. We had very good pre-launch marketing, and even though it took us quite a long time to launch, and there were some delays and hiccups because we needed to get permission for construction, etc., still, because of that, we had a lot of time for pre-launch marketing. Because we were collecting contacts of people, one of the tools was, of course, lending on our website. And we collected contact information of 5,000 people. We promised to them that after the opening, we'll give to every single person who left the contact info, a free pizza. And here's the important point. We don't want to only live on promos, because there is tremendous promo and price competition. But we want to be more in the taste area. We are ready for degustation. We're ready for tasting. We're ready to give people an opportunity to get acquainted to the product, to taste the product. We want people to get to know the restaurant, because we know that there's just more gusto in our product. We have not only collected the contacts of people, we'll also use that contacts for mailing lists, but we are also therefore naturally inviting people to the restaurant and allowing them to flavor the product. We also work quite well on social networks. Before the launch, we had already the community of 6,000 people, and we were very active with our users. We were just being ourselves. We were naturally telling about what is happening on a pre-launch stage. People truly embraced that. Our audience is very active. They give us so much advice. Sometimes they criticize us as well, but still, it's a living and vivid dialogue. And that helped us at the launch as well to attract even more people. Here's the before photo, by the way. This is the mess before. And let me show you what was after. Look at this cookie. On the left side, you see before, and on the right side, you see after. On the left, you see our facade. Let me tell you about this venue. Initially, the corner of the space was occupied by another tenant, some optics store, so the corner of the facade was actually closed, blocked visually by the other tenant. And that tenant obviously had a leasing contract, but we did realize that we want to be as visible as possible for this very central location. So we were talking about leasing not only our space, but also about occupying that very corner. And it took quite a long time, but we made it happen, because we strongly believed in this particular place and the format that we prepared for this place. That's why it was all worth it. we have been able to make a very good angular entrance to the restaurant. You see the tiling being put on the left and our actual hall on the right. This is the photo before and after the hot area. On the left, you see the construction workers within, and on the right, it's the view from the outside, from the point of view of the guest. It took us quite a long time to design the interior. We have been swapping the kitchen, the hall, trying to figure out better position, better balance between operations, cooking, delivering, and the things that matter to our guests. And in most solutions, we were looking for the compromise, but we preferred to keep the ideas that are best for our clients. For example, in operations, it would be more convenient to place the delivery guys in the opening, at the entrance to the pizza restaurant, but we wanted to have this open shopping window that is actually a podium that attracts the eye, so we moved the delivery guys to the end of our restaurant. Yes, that elongated the kitchen, but still, that improved the quality of the experience of our clients. Here's how our facade looks. We use a lot of lighting, graphic elements, lighting elements, signs, so that we are visible at any time of day. And we see a lot of logo, so that we get people acquainted with our brand, with the bird. We took some additional elements to make us more visible. For example, the banner on the roof. It's been provided by advertising agency. The matter is that we're sitting by the subway station and we are being blocked by the entrance to the subway station. But thanks to the banner, we are very much visible. We have flags, stands, and at the photo on the left, at the bottom, you see our summer veranda. And here's a life hack that might be useful. You can, of course, build long-term beautiful relationships with your subsidiaries and suppliers, but many are ready to help. And actually, our beer subsidiary provided us with free furniture for our summer veranda. And by the way, that furniture has the same color as our facade, and we actually swapped the umbrellas for the new orange umbrellas, very much on brand, and we got all of that for free. Here's the interior. Lots of lighting, our Dodo bird, lots of Dodo insignias, and the sitting is actually organized so that we had the first part of the hall as a quick snack place, and the second part of the hall is a quiet sitting area where you can even sit down and plug in your laptop, for example. In addition to the development of the design, we decided to invite our guests and clients to participate. We had very vibrant audience. We wanted to start a competition for the best wording for our neon sign in the restaurant. And we decided that we will produce the neon sign with the best wording, the best idea. It was necessary to use Dodo or Dodo Pizza and something dedicated to Rondo, Subway, or Warsaw as a city. And on the right, you see the sign that won. It says Rondo Dobry Pizza. That is translated as good round pizza. Rondo, and that is the name of the subway station right next to our restaurant. So we keep the Dodo and we keep the name of the subway station. This is our product. It's actually really, really cool. We have this fluffy dough, airy. By the way, there's one particular part of the menu. The Polish love this pizza with a lot of green, rucola and prosciutto. We also have these rolls with pineapple and ginger. It's a hit, by the way. People do love it. That exploded the sales. When people eat this, they tell us that this is a drug and it causes addiction. It's impossible to stop eating it. Another specialty on the menu. Very often, it is possible to find in Poland onions For example, people usually remove onions from customizing. Here, people love onions. On top, you see meat pizza with green onions. Also, they love spicy food in Poland, and we have our very own hot pepperoni pizza in addition to Mexican. On top, on the right, also with onions and sriracha sauce. And at the bottom, you see vegetarian pizza with this green rucola topping, and also it has corn. Polish do love the corn so much, which is actually very different compared to Russia. Russians don't really love pizza with corn, but the Polish really, really do love it. We have a fabulous team. There's a number of people who worked for other chains in Poland but joined us, and we have some team members of Dodo who traveled from other countries to join our team. We are making our very own dough, and in the future we're going to establish distribution facility for delivery, and we have our very own call center to take orders in the restaurant, in the house. We are now transferring most of the remote orders into the app. Why have we established the call center? Well, our competition does not boast with good apps or good websites. That's why people are naturally used to calling to make an order in Poland, but we wanted to give better experience than competition. We do understand that digitalization is on the way, and people, our clients, are getting accustomed to using an app. Yesterday, for example, about 70% of the orders were via the app and only 30% on the website. I'm speaking about delivery, of course. Another photo of the team. Here's our back office team. They truly are heroes who made it all happen. We see Dima, Roma, Alona over here. Thank you guys once again. And let them tell you about the project in a small video. I have found out about Dodo from the interview of Fyodor Ovchinnikov, the interview with Oleg Tinkov, and I truly shared his view on how you should build a company. 5 years ago, I moved to Warsaw, and when I first saw a few years ago that Dodo is hiring to build a restaurant in the new country, I have realized that it's time to be a part of this brand. And here I am. My name is Alona Szypankiewicz, and since I am a native Polish, let me say you this. Do dobry dzień. I was working for a big company, not an evil corp, so I felt pretty much okay. But eventually I realized that there's something more. I want to create. I want to be a creator for a brand, for a love brand here in Poland. So it turns out that I met Julia eventually. She was doing SMM and I joined her. And I really got so deeply involved with the affair that I started doing marketing for Dodo in Poland. And eventually they offered me to come on board full-time and be in charge of the brand in Poland, be in charge of development of restaurants in Poland. And I said yes, because practically that was a super chance for me to become the creator for a love brand that I always wanted to be. During the last 5 years, I worked for FCA company, managing restaurants, opening restaurants, and I've heard about Dodo. I know Vladimir Garetsky, and I heard that Dodo is going to enter the market of Poland. And I responded to that because I had enough competencies and experience to launch a truly good restaurant. It was important for me to prove to myself that I can do this in a new country and show to our guests and customers in a new country what we can make. July 12th, we've launched the delivery. Here's our very first shift on this photo. They opened the day, and on July 30th, we have opened the floor of our restaurant. On the left, the first pizza that was delivered to the real-life clown, and here she is, our first customer. That is a very special feeling, opening a pizza, getting the first order. When we got our first order, we were running around the kitchen yelling. in delight that somebody ordered our pizza. That was a very special feeling that we wanted to preserve. And we encounter every single guest with the very same delight. We love to observe our guests. We love to know why they got excited about our pizza. Our open kitchen actually attracts a lot of looks. The kitchen is fully transparent. We're like in the aquarium, both from the outside through the facade and from the inside. Here are some of our very first clients. On the left, the first guys to pick up their order. And on the right, Raman, our administrator, and Pavel, one of our chiefs of construction, who put our idea into reality. Here are our clients. This is not staged. These are their natural faces when they eat our snacks and pizzas. And on this slide, I want to show the diversity of our clients and guests. We wanted our place to be simple, casual, open, so that anybody would feel at home. And you can see how different our guests are. It can be a runner for a check meal. I think this dude has carbohydrate window all day long. Or you can be a business lady who just passed by for a small snack or a slice of pizza. Actually, a number of foreigners and English-speaking guests are also visiting our restaurant. Or we have a number of elderly clients who want to sit down and gossip at a slice of pizza. We have families, mothers with children, and it's a delight to see so many different people who choose something special but discover something very own in our restaurant. Yesterday we celebrated a first week since we've been open for both the floor and delivery. And here are first revenues. This is for yesterday, almost 5,000 zloty, which is a pretty good result in a new country for a new brand. And on the right, there's the App Store screen. We are actually occupying the 39th position, actually taking over a few clients, such as you may see, number 42. And again, we have a number of promo with tasting, and we have a number of promos with the app. We wanted to direct so many people as possible to our app. So, let us speak about our next steps. We decided that we want to grow very quickly, because we do realize that the faster we cover the city for delivery, the faster will every single restaurant grow. But we're facing some locations limitations. We do realize that it's not very easy to find the venues that would fit with facade, technical requirements, and traffic. It's hard to find them. It takes a lot of time to negotiate them. We decided, therefore, to pick two formats. We need to open at least 19 restaurants in Warsaw. A few flagship restaurants, like the one I've shown you. These are restaurants in a high traffic areas that will boost the brand in the market. Second format are pickup points, where it's possible to pick up the takeout pizza. We believe that this format will help us to quicker discover new venues and spots, not necessarily in a high traffic area, and it costs less to open that places and rent them. So combining these two formats will be able to grow in the city faster. We've already signed up 2 new venues in Warsaw, and we've already designed them. And we will soon start the construction. Warsaw 2 restaurant, another flagship. It's in a bedroom community, but with high traffic. This is a big transportation hub, a mall, which is a natural gravitation point for this bedroom community. It will be the easy spot place. It will be easy to sit down or just have a quick snack. Here's the window, the entrance, so that there are entrances from the outside and from the inside of the mall. And we have the angular check-in counter, so that the cashier could quickly see and greet the guest. And this is the example for the pickup point, Warsaw 3, the pickup point in a business center, but not at a high traffic area. What's special about this particular pickup point? It is located very conveniently to pick up quickly. We do realize that speed matters for a pizza restaurant, and that can be our competitive advantage. Also, this point is situated in a very, very convenient place. Yes, it is the bedroom community, but what's special about Warsaw? There are also a lot of offices in the bedroom community, so we do realize that this is a very good place for delivery and pickup. And we're going to expand these two formats in a combination. This is the example of a pickup point design. There are only 3 seats here, if people do want to sit down and have a snack. So, what do we have? We have 3 delivery areas. In a year and a half, we're going to cover entire Warsaw. On this map, you see 3 points, one that has been open in the center and 2 additional points in bedroom communities. And another frequently asked question: when franchising? When there will be franchising? We need to establish a model at the moment. We need to understand how we are handling new openings and whether we can earn money, how we can get more revenue. Yes, brand is important. The brand should be strong, but we want to give to our franchisees the hands-on working model. And by the end of the year, we will begin collecting franchising applications. So if you want to get to know about the opening of the applications, please do write us. This is our contact email, and we will, of course, announce the opening of franchising in Poland on our social networks. Have a great day!